Sacramento Kings is the 4th overall pick on Keegan Murray. It wasn't the pick I was the biggest fan of. I had higher prospect grades on Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, and AJ Griffin. One of them was a top 3 player in the draft in my opinion, and 2 of them were tied for number 5 on my board based off the prospect grades. But I didn't hate the pick either. It's not like I was going to clown the Kings for taking Keegan Murray at pick 4, because Murray was a very good prospect in his own right. Someone I was confident would be a good player as one of the most high floor guys in the class. And he's proven that in his rookie season. Murray recently set the rookie record for most total 3-pointers in a season by a rookie ever, but yeah, that makes sense, with 188 a few nights ago, and with enough time left in the season, he could easily get to 200 and be obviously the first rookie to get to 200, because no rookie has done that, and it's very likely because, again, he's at 192 at the time of recording this video. Keegan Murray is a very unique rookie, in my opinion, who's in a position that most top 4 picks aren't in. He's a starter on a playoff team, he's made an immediate impact, and despite being 22 already, he's turning 23 this summer, I think he has pretty good upside. Murray is mostly used as a 3-point shooter. 64.6% of his field goal attempts are 3-pointers. Compare that to this 35.4% of his field goal attempts being 2-point field goals. One thing I noticed immediately on tape is that it felt like Murray was taking almost all of his threes off ball in catch-and-shoot opportunities. So I looked it up on NBA.com, and it turns out the stats back this up. 5.8 of his 6.3 catch-and-shoot looks are from 3, which accounts for 92.1% of his 3-point attempts. So I do think that signals he's benefiting from the gravity of others, but benefiting off of creators' gravity can only take you so far, and the fact that Murray is shooting 40.9% from 3 on 6.3 attempts per game is a sign that he's a really good shooter. Regardless of if he's getting more open looks because of the gravity of others, there is no context where a guy with these kind of shooting numbers as a rookie isn't an impressive shooter. It's statistically the best rookie season ever in terms of 3-point shooting, and the tape backs it up. He can shoot off movement, he can shoot off the catch, he can shoot off ball in general, and having a 6'8" wing forward that can be this lethal as an off-ball shooter is extremely valuable. I think as a shooter, Keegan Murray can be what Duncan Robinson was before Robinson got that big contract, and before you kill me for saying that, pre-contract Duncan Robinson was one of the best 3-point shooters in basketball and was on an all-time great shooting projection. I think Murray projects similarly as a high-volume 3-point shooter with a heavy off-ball scoring diet. The difference between Duncan and Keegan is that Keegan has more on-ball creation upside, 2-point scoring variance, better athlete by far, and a much better defender, which is why Murray won't run into those same problems that Robinson has that have led to Robinson falling out of the rotation in Miami since getting that contract. If you can get Duncan Robinson as a shooter while also getting a player that's good in the other areas of the game outside of 3-point shooting, you're getting a good player. Now, when it comes to on-ball value, it's really hard to gauge what Keegan Murray is capable of because mostly it's just not his role, which makes sense considering the Kings have 2 all-stars. He does have moments where he doesn't look comfortable creating on the ball, but he also does flash in this area as well, and the flashes are encouraging. It will be interesting to see how he develops as an on-ball player over the years because I think on-ball creation will be key for him potentially returning top 5 pick value. I like him a lot as a play finisher right now. I wouldn't say he's a terrible finisher at the basket. He's a pretty good athlete. But I do think it's an area where he does need to grow in terms of creating on the ball. It will increase his value as a player. It will increase his role and lineup versatility. And he has flashes of it already, so I do think he can get there. He's a decent pull-up shooter. I don't think he'll ever be this big-time creator like KD or Tatum, but I do think being capable to the point where he is utilized as one more than he is right now is in the realm of possibility. And again, I think that will raise his value as a player. Keegan Murray already proved one side of his pre-draft evaluation to be correct. And that was that he's a high forward player, which was one of the selling points with him as a prospect. He's proven he can contribute right away. He's a starter on a playoff team. He's an elite three-point shooter already and one of the best off-ball scorers in the league. And I do think that alone has proven that he is a valuable player that was worth taking as high as he went, even if I wouldn't have done it personally. But the question is, can he grow into more than that? That's always been the question with him as a prospect. He's going to be 23 years old this summer. He is older for a top 5 pick, and I do think there is a world where guys like Ivy, Duran, AJ, Mathurin, Sharp, and maybe even Sohan are better. But I don't think it will matter if Murray progresses into the complete scorer. I think he can, because again, the signs are all there. I don't think Murray necessarily is a lock to end up as one of the 5 best guys from this draft class. It's also way too early to define any of that. We haven't even finished these guys' rookie year. And I like a few guys as well in this class. I think this class is proven to be very talented. But I think he is someone that has the capability of doing it. And I also think, again, it's something only time can tell. I think Murray could have a similar career to a guy like Tobias Harris, minus the fact Tobias Harris has played like 15 years in the league on 15 teams. That's a major exaggeration, but the point is, I think Murray will be on the Kings for a very long time, and I don't think he ends up being a journeyman like Tobias Harris has been. While to a casual fan, comparing a prospect that won the top 4 to Tobias Harris might be viewed as an insult. I don't think it is. Tobias Harris has been a really good NBA player. He's someone that's consistently 17 to 20 points per game since becoming a full-time starter. And mind you, Tobias Harris was much younger than Keegan Murray was when he entered the league. So when you look at what Tobias did at the same age that Keegan is now, I don't think it's a terrible projection. I do think that Murray will be a better shooter than Harris is and a better off-ball scorer than Harris is, because I think Murray is already one of the best off-ball scorers in the league. But even with that, Tobias Harris with a more consistent three-point shooting game and even higher three-point shooting volume is still a great player. I'm not saying that it's Tobias Harris to Keegan Murray 1-to-1, because there are differences in the way they play, to say the least. But I do think if we're talking about the level of player, I think it's realistic to believe that's something that Murray could become. And if you can get a 20 point per game scorer that has done it on playoff teams, mind you, it's not like Tobias Harris has just been doing this on bad teams. He's been doing it on playoff teams in his career, and can also be a player that not only brings value in their scoring production and their three-point shooting ability, but also a player that can play on and off the ball. I think that's a really good player, and I think that's something Keegan Murray can be. And a player like that can play 10 plus years in the league easily, and probably closer to like 15 years in the league for a very long time, because players like that have games that age very gracefully because of the versatility in the roles that they can play. And Keegan Murray has already proven that he can be a player that contributes to winning basketball. The question is now, where can he take this? I understand he's a bit older and maybe the ceiling isn't as high as most top 4 picks that are like 18, 19 years old when he entered the league. But I think Keegan Murray has the skills, I think he has shown the potential, and I think he's shown the floor that you look for in a top 4 pick. And 22, turning 23, there's still room to grow in my opinion. And I do think Keegan Murray will eventually grow into that player that was worth taking with that 4th overall pick in due time.